You know, for as well loved as Respawn Entertainment are, EA really do not give them the credit they deserve. From having the release of Titanfall 2 get spit roasted by Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, to turning the Titanfall series into a shitty Clash Royale ripoff for mobile, it seems like EA didn't learn the lesson of don't bite the hand that feeds you, because it's not exactly a stretch to say that Respawn Entertainment over the years have pulled EA out of the fucking shit, and they did it again with Apex Legends. After the whole backlash over Battlefront 2 and EA subsequently leaving it to just ferment in its own anal secretions, the stocks went into absolute freefall, and it seemed to me at first that they just turned once again to that big shiny messiah in the sky that is Respawn Entertainment and made them shit something out onto Origin to try and get some money. Because why else would they just not advertise a game and suddenly release it with very little warning? The whole situation just reeked of another attempt by EA to sabotage the Titanfall series even further, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that, in fact, no, they really didn't. In fact, this was definitely a conscious effort on Respawn's part to try and avoid some of the backlash they were probably going to face. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized it was an absolutely outstanding move to try and rid themselves of EA's shackles once and for all. And it's a perfect example of how you can take a very bad situation or really bad circumstances and turn them into something pretty great. And to explain it, let me ask you one simple question. Imagine you are a very big Titanfall fan, like me, and you heard about 6 months ago that they were going to be releasing a new Titanfall game. You'd be pretty fucking hyped. But then they started to release more and more information about it with regular updates and tweets and all that stuff, and eventually you learn that it's not going to have any Titans in it. That it's going to be free to play. That it's going to be a battle royale. That it's going to have loot boxes. And then it's going to be published by EA. Would you have been as hyped to play it? Because I know I wouldn't. And this, in my opinion, is one of the most genius things I've seen a company do. They knew that if they advertised the game to hell, like EA tend to do with all their big releases, that nobody would have played it. And with their backs against the wall, they realized that they couldn't really give people much time to dwell on the specifics. Instead, they had to just kind of bombard people with the information that they would have needed and almost let them figure the rest out for themselves and fall back on the gameplay that they knew they could deliver on to advertise the game for them. And this is especially good when you consider the current climate in gaming. Big companies these days aren't all that trustworthy, so any review they make of a new title should always be taken with a grain of salt. But when your friend Dave says that the game's really good, you're probably going to believe them, because what reason would Dave ever have to lie, except for that one time when you let him borrow your controller and then you broke it but refused to admit that it was him, saying it was like that since you gave it to him and never bought you a new one. Dave. And it's hard to say that this method wasn't successful, because Apex Legends is now a bit popular, in the same way that the Beatles were a bit popular in the 60s. And it just goes to show that when a game has solid gameplay as its foundation, it can advertise itself. You could spend millions of dollars to advertise a game and it can still flop if the gameplay is poor. Hell, you could spend thousands of dollars lying to people and it's just going to backfire in your face and no one's going to play it. And we've seen that happen in the past, obviously not naming any names. Sean Murray and Todd Howard. It also goes to show how using your noggin every now and again can really help you succeed in the video game industry. But I guess the main reason why I wanted to make this video is I wanted to draw more attention to Respawn Entertainment. I feel like being under the EA banner, they don't get the love they absolutely deserve, but they are probably one of the best developers in the game right now. And it makes me sad that all of these small things and these genius ideas that they do as a company tend to go unnoticed by the vast majority of people. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Vince Zampella, for not only being one of the most low-key handsome CEOs of all time, but also being one of the savviest minds in the gaming industry right now, and setting the example that hopefully more companies follow in the future. And I hope one day you'll finally take up the mantle of being the shepherd to lead EA out of the darkness and into the light. But hey, what can I say, I'm an optimist. So, thank you for Titanfall. Thank you for Apex Legends, and please have my babies. Also, can you make Titanfall 3? Thanks.
What are you doing?